We are tracking rain, snow, and wind damage after a storm ripped through Northern California. We are seeing creeks overflowing, new chain controls on Sierra highways, and fallen trees causing hazards. Right now, we are surveying the damage in our area. This is Live Copter 3 flying over southeastern Sacramento County. This is in the area of Wilton over the Cosumnes River. It is flowing fast. There's a lot of water here. We do know there is a levee that appears to have been breached in this area. And we're going to check back with this shot overhead in just a moment and talk to our pilot Dan Oppenheim about all that he is seeing in the area. But a lot of water flowing in this region here. Right now, the big story is in the Sierra, where lots of heavy snow is creating some hazards. You can barely see the roadway on Interstate 80. This is in Donner Summit. And then on Highway 50 here behind me, you see the trees in Echo Summit frosted with snow. There are chain controls in some areas, so be sure to have them ready. KCRA 3's Mike DeSalle has a look at conditions in the Sierra.
Here it is, digging out from a winter storm with wet, heavy snow. Exactly what you need after a prolonged drought.
I think it's a little bit heavy. It's not good for skiing or snowboarding, but I guess it would be good for a great foundation.
This snow coming with its share of problems overnight as eastbound and westbound Interstate 80 closed. No traffic allowed over Donner Summit due to spinouts, accidents, and slick conditions. At one point, dozens upon dozens upon dozens of big rigs lining Interstate 80 and crammed into parking lots. How would you describe the roads right now?
Don't be out there unless you know what you're doing. Yeah. Let's put it like that.
And this is that Sierra cement, that slick stuff.
Yeah.
Even after the interstate reopened, some were still stuck spinning their wheels. This big rig stuck as a pickup truck was trying to pull it out of a snow berm. And a sad scene. This dog lost, found stranded on the freeway. Crews trying to find the owner. Ultimately, after we aired his story live on the KCRA 3 Morning News, the owner came forward and reunited. A happy ending to a day of snow.
I'm actually going to San Diego today.
So you're getting out of the snow?
Oh yeah, getting out of the snow, give me some good burritos, you know.
And one more example of how much snow already accumulating up here. This is unplowed snow all the way down to that berm. Look at how deep that snow already is up here near Donner Summit. In Soda Springs, I'm Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
Okay, he looks nice and cozy and comfortable there, but we know it's cold and it is just piling on top of it.
It is.
Yeah.
Official word out of Donner Summit, it's about 30 inches of snow. That looks a little deeper. We wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of those ski resorts are going to be able to open before Halloween. The snow will be tapering throughout the rest of this afternoon. It's already doing so along Interstate 80. It's starting to let up in intensity along Highway 50, but you can see over the past 3 hours the solid dose of snow the Sierra is getting right now. So we're still seeing those snow showers again along I-80, Highway 50 still getting that steady snow over Echo Summit. Let me show you what it looks like along Interstate 80 right now as we go towards Donner Summit. It is, well, kind of treacherous driving, although Caltrans is moving along the snow very well. This is actually Echo Summit. You can see how heavy the trees are laden with all of that snow there. So again, about 2 feet plus of snow has fallen. We'll add a little bit more as we go throughout the next couple of hours or so. Just want to give you a quick glimpse of what it looks like up towards Sugar Bowl. There are picnic tables here. You can't really see them. So what Mike showed us is pretty similar to what we see here. Things are buried in the Sierra with all of that fresh snow. And yes, it's that heavy, wet snow, Tony. It's kind of that Sierra cement, which actually they like to see to build their base for the ski season.
Yeah, good for them. It's just not fun to drive and you got to be very careful.
So I think it's going to dwindle down the rest of today.
Okay, all right. And I know we're going to be talking about rain. We'll check back in with you for more on that in just a moment, Eileen. We are seeing a number of hazards on the roadways, including flooding and rock slides. Highway 50 is closed down in the area of Echo Summit as crews work to clear out a rock slide there. Now, closures are in place in the areas of Twin Bridges and Myers. Caltrans says the boulders need to be blasted first to be removed. All right, we want to go back out now to Live Copter 3. levee over the Cosumnes River in Sacramento County. We have pilot Dan Oppenheim joining us. Dan, let's talk more about this levee. I did mention that there was a chance that it may have been breached, but I believe that may not be the case. Is this area kind of prone to flooding? Is this a plain here that allows for the water to kind of flow over?
Yes, this does look like a basin that would be used to control flooding or just high water levels.
What are the biggest hazards that you've seen so far? I know you flew out to this area. What did you see along the way?
Most of what we saw along the way was water along roadways, along the banks of roadways, and other than that, it didn't seem like there were major concerns or hang-ups on roads.
So you probably haven't seen as much flooding throughout the area as we'd probably expect with all the rain that we've been seeing?
That's correct. There is a lot of water on the ground, but it doesn't seem like it's, I'm not seeing buildings underwater or cars submerged or anything like that.
Okay, let's talk a little more real quickly about this area. We are seeing a lot of rain. I know we're kind of zoomed into the Cosumnes River right here. Are there any homes or any structures that are kind of in the way that are being threatened possibly? Any concern there with that?
Not that I've seen. Not to say that there aren't any, but just not that I have seen.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Live Copter 3 pilot Dan Oppenheim. We will check back in with him a little later in the show, but let's go now back to Eileen and talk about what we're seeing in terms of rain. It's pretty incredible, Eileen. I know what last year, all rain season, we received almost 6 inches, and today, or over the weekend, we've already seen more than that.
Yeah, that's right. When we total up here in Sacramento, we've had more than 6 inches of rain when you go from Saturday all the way through today. So, but yesterday was just a record-setting day, something we don't see around here often. And in fact, we went over and above by quite a bit here in Sacramento of the old record for a 24-hour total rainfall. We set a record at 5.44 inches in Sacramento, and the old record set back in 1880 was 5.25 inches. Right now, the steady rain is done. The sun is out, but we might get those pop-up thunderstorms this afternoon. That might add a little bit to the rain gauge. But look at these rain totals when we go from Saturday to today, when we tack on 48 hours, because it started raining up towards Quincy even on Saturday with a weak weather system. But look at how much water has fallen in Blue Canyon the past 2 days. 13 inches of rain, more than 8 inches of rain in Auburn, and again closing in on 6 inches in Sacramento, 6.5 inches in Yuba City, 3.5 in Stockton. And yeah, these numbers are so impressive, especially for October. They'd even be impressive in January, but this is October. Really quite remarkable. Again, chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon, but really I think that widespread rain is just about done. Tony?
All right, Eileen, thank you. Well, the rain has been filling up creeks, causing them to overflow. This is Hangtown Creek in Placerville, Bridal Veil Falls near Fresh Pond along Highway 50, and Deer Creek in eastern Sacramento County. So let's go back to Eileen. Let's talk about what all this rain means for our lake levels.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot less brown around those reservoirs as we go through the day today, through the rest of the week, as they continue to fill up. In fact, we've already seen impressive inflows to Folsom Lake. There was just about a trickle of 1,000 to 2,000 cubic feet per second of that inflow early in the weekend, but yesterday just really ramped up and now going above 40,000 cubic feet per second, the inflow into Folsom Lake. So it's already up about 9 feet from that low level last week. Oroville is filling up as well, up 32 feet from last week. So nice filling here at some of our area reservoirs. I want to touch on the Cosumnes River. It's kind of a unique situation here because they don't have a reservoir to kind of hold back that water. So anytime it comes down, it goes into different areas to kind of spread out across the floodplain. Right now, it's at 10 feet. It's at its highest point it will go. It will likely continue to fall going into tomorrow. This is that gauge at Michigan Bar. So it's in that monitor stage. When it gets to 12 feet in that flood stage, that's when it starts to cause some of the water to go over in Wilton along the roadways. But again, the real increase in the water as all of it rushes down the hill from El Dorado County and Amador County into Sacramento County. Quite impressive. Tony, back to you.
It is. All right, Eileen, thank you. Right now, more than a dozen streets in Stockton are closed due to flooding. So be sure to pay attention to road closure signs and do not try to drive through any flooding. 6 inches of water is enough to hit the bottom of most vehicles and flooding your exhaust and then leaving you trapped. Take a look at this flooding. This is in Elk Grove. This is in the area of Bob White Court. You can see water swallowing curbs and filling up the street up to the bottom of the cars there. And then in Lodi, a viewer sent us this video of his neighborhood off Mills Lane and Vinewood. You can see that water covering the street and in the driveways of a number of homes. Well, the storm caused a lot of destruction at one property in Fair Oaks after a historic tree came crashing down this morning. KCRA 3's Leticia Ordaz shows us the damage and the close call for one family.
Just after 4 this morning, the Sargetis family heard a loud boom.
So I came outside to actually leave for work, and all I could see was just this massive oak tree that had fallen in our front yard. And as you can see, this is my car here that it smashed into, so it's not looking too good.
Alex Sargetis says his new car is totaled, and that's not the only damage found at their Fair Oaks home following the powerful storm.
It's not
And
looking
not
too
just
good.
one car here on the property, but it hit all 3. How did that happen? It seems like it broke in half.
So yeah, it looks like a broken half, split 2 ways. There's 2 vehicles down at the end of the driveway down here. And it looks like it smashed over all 3 of the cars, so.
Alex's brother and dad also have to get replacement cars.
I'm 70 and I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. I've lived in Sacramento my entire life.
The family is sad to say goodbye to their 100-year-old oak tree on their property.
One of the oldest oak trees in Fair Oaks.
But they are grateful it didn't fall on their home or hurt their loved ones or neighbors.
The main thing, thank God, he's a deputy sheriff, Alex, my son, and he would have been walking right up here to where his car was if this was half an hour later. So we're thankful.
In Fair Oaks, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
The family is still waiting for the insurance company to come out and give them a damage estimate for all 3 cars. They also have to pay a tree removal service to come haul away the giant oak tree. A lot to get done, but thank goodness everybody is okay. Let's go back to Eileen and talk about what is ahead for the rest of today.
Well, we're done with the steady rain.
Okay.
We're done with those winds that caused all of that tree damage and fences to be blown down and such. We're going to be seeing quieter skies today compared to yesterday, but there's still a threat. We see a pop-up thunderstorm, several of them as we go through the afternoon. Take a look at downtown Sacramento. Notice in the distance there's some bubbling clouds, the classic sign that we're starting to see some instability. And we're looking at Doppler radar, and yes, what catches your eye is the snow, but again, that'll be tapering in intensity as we go through the day today. We're watching out towards the Bay Area and the Delta right now. See these little pockets of rain? They may form into a couple of downpours, maybe a few thunderstorms as we get into the afternoon. We're going to be tracking